The economy fastest growing in the G7, fastest growing economy in the G7, fastest growing in the G7.
The Justice Secretary was allowed to repeat that completely unchallenged on 3 separate occasions. He then couldn't wait to jump over to the BBC, where he again repeated it twice, completely unchallenged.
We've got the fastest growing economy in the G7, we have the fastest growing economy in the G7.
And we know that.
Well, let's take a look at that. That might be correct looking at growth over the most recent year we have data for, but the UK's growth places it 5th amongst the G7 in the latest quarterly data.
Wages are up, wages are rising.
Again, this went unchallenged, and again the Justice Secretary couldn't wait to jump over to the BBC to repeat it.
Wages are rising.
Soaring inflation has outstripped wages, meaning a real terms cut in income for UK workers, and that's set to continue.
And the upshot is that come 2026, that's the end of this kind of projection period, you're still talking about real wages being the same, maybe even a tiny bit lower than they were in 2008.
Around 4.3 million children in the UK were living in poverty between 2019-20. That's 31% of children. A new report from Joseph Rowntree Foundation has just found 1.8 million children in the UK growing up in very deep poverty. That means family incomes are so low they are completely inadequate to cover the basics. That's 500,000 more children in deep poverty since 2011. On top of that, the government has just hiked taxes to their highest level in 70 years, whilst implementing the biggest overnight cut to the basic rate of social security since World War II. And this comes on top of soaring energy bills, food prices, fuel prices and inflation. And let's not forget that before the pandemic, the Conservative government had been responsible for a decade of wage stagnation, soaring poverty in food banks, kids going hungry. We'd even seen the return of Victorian diseases.